Focus even said Brady is legitimately on fire entering the playoffs. I love that quote. You know, that makes me happy. Shannon, how shocked would you be if the Bucs made it to the Super Bowl?
Shocked? I don't know if shocked would be the term that I would use, but I'd be very surprised, Skip. We've seen the Bucs beat up on bad teams and look very good in doing it, and we've seen them struggle against very good teams. And one of the teams that they struggled against was the New Orleans Saints, which will be one of the teams they'll have to go through in order to beat. And we see them play the Packers, in which they dismantle the Packers. And so he's catching a real good break that he's facing a team that offensively I don't think poses them the challenge that they're going to see when they face Green Bay and when they face the New Orleans Saints. So I think they get an opportunity to get their feet wet early on in the postseason. But Skip, Brady, to get to the Super Bowl, he's going to have to win 3 road playoff games. Brady has only played 4 road playoff games in his entire playoff career. And he would have to play 3. He's 4-4, Skip, record on the road. So it's going to be very, very this year. And if you look at
where 2 of those losses were in your old stadium.
Yes. So Skip, I think the thing is that for me, can Brady, who on the road, we know what he represents at home. I just don't know if he can withstand, especially New Orleans. I think New Orleans posed a bigger risk than the Packers because I trust the Saints defense more than I trust the Packers. I might trust Aaron Rodgers in their offense, but if you can't get Brady on the ground, if you can't get around his feet, if you can't make him uncomfortable, you're going to catch the Dickens beating him. And I think New Orleans can do that because they've shown the one that he's had the most trouble. He's lost 5 games this year, but the most trouble he's had is against the Saints. So, Skip, shocked is not the term I'm going to use.
Okay.
I'm going to use 2 variants. I'll be very, very surprised if they won the Super Bowl.
It would kill you if they won the Super Bowl. It would destroy your psyche on the show if they won the Super Bowl.
Well, if Alabama won the national championship, LeBron, I mean, I can't be greedy, Skip. I can't win the NBA title back-to-back years, Alabama win the national championship, and get my homeboy to win the Super Bowl. Is that possible? I mean, sweepstakes wouldn't be all bad.
It's possible. But it's also possible that Tampa Bay is going to get to the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Right? The first ever home Super Bowl played by this team, the Buccaneers. Yeah. Okay, so the sports books are queasy right now because the Buccaneers are at 12-1. They're down at 5th best odds to win the Super Bowl, and the money's starting to pour in on 12-1 because if
they win the first game, it's gonna be down to 5-1.
Yeah. But those bets are going to stand at 12-1 to win the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Okay. So the point is that all of a sudden the Bucs caught fire. And the reason they caught fire, to me, was, albeit against shaky, weak competition, but they're still pro football teams that they're playing against. They caught fire because Antonio Brown started to get his legs up underneath him. And I started to see a little more quickness than I saw for the first 3 or 4 games. Right. And it took a while because he joined them when they were 6-2, and it looked like they were starting to take off then. But Brady said, no, we can really take off. We're going to have to pay now to be paid back later if we can figure Antonio out on the fly over the back half of the season. What was the first night he played? It was a Sunday night, New Orleans at Tampa Bay, right? And they got shellacked. They got humiliated. They got embarrassed on national TV on Sunday night, right? And Antonio was hit and miss, and then he got a little more of the run in the offense. He got a few more targets, and all of a sudden, he hit the lottery on targets against Atlanta in the final home game because what did he throw him?
Threw him like 13 targets. He caught 11 balls.
Woo, 11 balls. And all of a sudden, he started looking like Antonio. Tom Brady loves Antonio. Yeah. Right?
But what Brady always did, Skip, where he didn't always give him 8, 9 targets. He always tried to keep him involved. He always threw him 4 or 5 targets.
He did.
He always hey, don't think we might not be clicking, but don't think I'm not trying.
Hear a peep out of Antonio about, I need some more catches. Right? Okay. So now, I don't know if Mike Evans is going to be able to go. He tweaked his knee, and it was only a tweak. Hyperextended, went backward. But they said he's day-to-day. He's got a chance. So at least he's there and not lost for the playoffs. If they have their full complement going forward, that offense is a handful.
It is.
and it would be a handful for the Packers to stop also.
Yes.
In fact, I give Washington a better chance against that offense than I would give the Packers because Washington has the antidote.
Right.
They've got the kryptonite.
Right.
Can they get pressure with 4? If they can, it's going to be a long, hard battle on Saturday night.
The Packers have gotten better. I like the Packers back end better than I like Washington's
I'll
back
agree with
end.
that.
But I might take Washington's front end more than I like the Packers. But the Smith brothers and Clark and they got the guy from Michigan, Skip. What's
Gary.
Yeah, Rashawn Gary. He's been playing well.
He started to come alive.
Yeah.
I didn't love him coming out in the draft, but I've seen a couple of little flashes from him.
Zadarius Smith has been good. Preston Smith has come along since they stopped. They were using Preston Smith wrong. They dropping him too much in coverage. He's covering the tight end up the seam. He's a rush backer. Let him rush.
Okay, so just hypothetically, if they got through Aaron at Aaron,
yes,
then here we go. Third time's a charm. Brady at Breeze.
Right.
This would be enormous theater to watch. But can you beat Tom Brady 3 times in a year?
Well, the thing is, Skip, I used to say, man, my brother used to beat me. He beat me 150 times because he was just better. So sometimes if you're just better, I would say it's hard to beat. So I know
You're talking about basketball.
Right.
Backyard basketball.
Yeah, basketball. We play a lot of different things. The question is, Skip, have they solved? Hendrickson's going to be the key. Hendrickson reminds me of Jared Allen, a guy that's relentless in it. Skip, because he did a number. He was doing a number on my homeboy.
No, I
he was doing a number on Fisher.
So listen, Tristan Wirfs at right tackle, a rookie.
Yeah.
He's gotten better and better and better.
Okay, well, that's Cam Jordan. That's Rankins. That's those guys. We'll see what you got.
I hope we get to see what you got.
Question for you guys. Will Skip win his due back from... Oh, the Eagles are still taking plenty of heat for benching Jalen Hurts for Nate Sudfeld in their season finale loss to Washington. Cowboys great Emmitt Smith told Sports Illustrated that the message Philly sent was that it's okay to quit on the football field, something he never learned growing up. Former Eagles and Cowboys cornerback Orlando Scandrick is joining us now. Orlando, good morning. So what do you think really happened with the Eagles on Sunday night?
I think they made a business decision. It was either bench Jalen Hurts, put in Sudfeld, and get the 6th pick, or have a chance at winning the game. Emmitt Smith has been known to be a harsh critic. He was a really, really harsh critic when I was in Dallas. I mean, he's a great player in this league, won a lot of Super Bowls, but sometimes I think that he just talks to himself because I don't think that they quit at all. I think it was a business decision. They had a win does nothing for you, and they're just trying to look for their future going forward.
For me, I look. Emmett, my dog, me and Emmett, we came in together, Skip. We used to hang together early in our careers. But how do you say the players quit? The players didn't quit. Doug Peterson made a decision. All they can do is if he says, you're not dressing, you're not dressing, you're not dressing, what am I supposed to do, Man, I'm dressing. My uniform better be in my locker.
Players play, coaches coach.
Yes.
Well, was Emmitt's suggestion the coaches quit?
And he said the Eagles quit. I guess he said, I don't know. He said the Eagles. So I guess he means as an organization. Look, I don't want, if anybody else, if I'm a player on the team and I got a comment, I don't want to hear anything from the Giants. I don't want to hear anything from the Cowboys because you're selfish. You're upset. First of all, Emmett, your Cowboys quit. I don't even want to talk about what they did against Cleveland. And I don't want to talk about what they did against Arizona. And I don't want to talk about what they did the last game. So even if the Eagles had beat Washington, you wouldn't have won because your team got beat Sunday earlier.
My team quit at Washington.
Yes.
For sure.
So I don't want to hear anything about from other players. Like I said,